Welcome ladies and gentlemen to PSGL, PST, Season 30 for F4 Division. I'm your commentator Ion Neon, or it's Jared Fosbury, and I'm joined in at the comms booth by a legendary commentator who's done comms for PSGL before, Mr. Sondre Sohaug.
Hello.
Well, unfortunately Sondre missed last week in Portugal, where Jabraka took the win with a very clever strategy, pitting very early on the safety car to go on the intermediates when the conditions were bit mixed from wet winters, and he got a commanding lead in the end of that race. But today we're at Britain, and it looks like clear skies at the moment, Sondre.
It does indeed, but at the same time, you gotta remember this is Britain. It's Silverstone, and changing weather is a factor here. So you never know. We could see a complete change before the race.
That is true, as everyone now of 19, and remember nobody can join in qualifying due to glitches in the game still, which is a shame, so we won't have a full grid. So 19 is still decent, but my top 4 for today's race then, or for quali at least, I'm going to go with Mercedes first and second, so Noah first, Thomas second, third I'm going to go with Gustav, and then I'm going to give fourth Jabraka. I think he's got the pace around Britain. Sondre, do you want to give your possible top 4 prediction with how you've seen the championship, or?
I am gonna pass on that, as I haven't seen more than 2 or 3 of these drivers before, and with that in mind, and trying to predict who is gonna be there, I have no idea. I know Terror Racer has been good in the past, but I will save my predictions for later in the season.
Fair enough. Well then, as TSG_ now up in the Alfa Romeo Reserve, was in the Aston last weekend. He was actually, I think, 6th in qualifying. So he's up there at least in the qualifying order. Race pace, on the other hand, I think he finished 8th, I believe, or something like that. But he's in the Alfa Romeo today as a reserve, and let's see what he can do, as he will be the first one to start his lap. And Sondre, I feel you should be the first one to come sit over his lap, as he's about to enter the final couple of corners.
I will do my best in that case, as we can see that he's taking a wide line to start off his lap here in Silverstone, then using all of the power into the first corner, in up to 8th gear before he goes around this second corner and into a hard braking zone, possible overtaking possibility in turn 3 before a little bit of a difficult traction zone in turn 4. Then I believe this should be turn 5. I'm not completely sure how it's counted. However, DRS on and now into, is it Laffield? I believe. Long left-hander, then into this long right-hander. Looking very solid so far. Nothing special. A little bit of a twitch on traction there before he goes down this straight to Copse corner. One of the most difficult corners, I would say, if you don't get it right. As he does, then into the S section, looking good on entries, keeping it in 8th, down to 7th, then down to 5th, getting nice and well on traction before going on to the hangar straight, and down towards the stove in a moment, braking at the 50-meter board, then getting that car turned in, maybe being a little cautious there before these last 2 or 3 corners, I guess it is, and taking a lot of curve there and over the finish line to do a 1:27.029.
Yeah, not a bad banker lap. I'm probably expecting 26s from these guys, as Freaky Fast is next on a lap in the Alpine, and he does a 26.9, so already in the 26s then, as I've said. So not bad laps for them. Obviously they are bankers. That's Terracer, 26.8.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not a bad lap starting off with a 27, but as we see those, Limbo with a 26.6, and then Jones with a 26.4. So as I was going to say, 27 flat. Not a bad lap, but not a good lap either. Just a bang average one, to be honest. As we see multiple more peoples putting it in the 26s. However, look at TTG Aris, Jared. Mediums with a 26.9.
Yeah, it's a very good solid lap, especially in the mediums. being in ahead of a couple of soft runners, especially. He was quite quick last weekend, and unfortunately, I believe he was involved in a crash, which affected them scoring points. So, Red Bull looking on Aries and Rowan for this weekend, as they are quick drivers. Obviously, Rowan last season was in a title fight with Rocco, DV, and Knuth. But Aries, yeah, he's a quick driver, especially on those mediums. 9th at the moment, not a bad lap.
Not a bad lap indeed, but one of your favorites though, Jabraka, going down the hanger straight right about now. As we can see him opening DRS, now heading into Stowe, once again braking at the 50. Getting nice turned in, extending as much as possible without too much, before going into this last corner section here. And maybe being a little bit cautious before the last corner there, but still 26.6 and a good lap in the end.
Yeah, good lap indeed. Goes 5th quickest, 26.6. Drops now to 6th as I believe that was Shane. Or was that Martin? Martin in the Aston. Martin was in the wars, I believe, last weekend. I believe he got collected in a crash, which resulted in DNFing, I believe. But he is in the Aston. I believe that is the correct car he was meant to be in. But right now he's in 4th, so the Astons are doing quite well, 3rd and 4th at the present time, as the 3 drivers of Luca, Lautus and Rowan still haven't set laps.
Well, Lautus coming around the final corner now to set a 26.5, getting right into the mix for that top 5 range. Rowan, he's still in the pit, so no lap from him yet, neither Luca.
Yeah, I'm just going to make sure nobody's got any quali bans for this. Because everyone else is not on flyers right now.
There shouldn't be anyone even on an outlap at the moment from what I can see, so unless there's somebody trying to use an old set of tires, which is possible. I wouldn't recommend it though.
No penalties or quali bans for this weekend, so everyone should be setting laps.
Indeed. So we can see Ladders trying to force its way to the pit lane with no fuel left. It's a pain.
Yeah, it's just literally slows your car down. Would be a cool feature though if it was you run out of fuel, your car just stops.
I mean, I do believe in real life though that like when you run out of fuel, you should still have like a tiny bit so you can go in that slow mode to the pit.
Yeah.
Or I might be wrong for that matter.
Well, he's in the pits then, as Luca in the Williams is also on track. Aries though back out, 15th then in the end, after everybody else has improved their lap times. And he's on the soft, so he will be the first one to do a second lap around Britain. And as you said, Cops Corner, you've got to be very careful with track limits, as I believe the stewards in PSGL said if you go over that you can be penalised if you go too far wide, which I don't really agree with because it actually slows you down. Well, it is what it is.
I mean, I do see your point there, but at the same time I do see why you get penalised, because if you go wide and don't get your lap invalidated, it's not a matter of you going a little too far over the curb, it's a matter of you going completely off them, which, I mean, in most cases you should lose time while doing that, but at the same time if you're bad in the corner then like you could still gain time from it as well. So
yeah, there's positives and negatives, 50-50 really. But Aries then will be beginning his second run then on the soft tyres, as let's see what he does then. Approaching turn number 1, uses the X curb, nice and tidy through there, nice and flowing. Those cars slow down out of the pit lane so they don't collect any of these guys on fast runs. Nice and tidy through turn 3 into 4, short shifts up to 4th gear. Now as we're going up to turn 5, just basically flat out. DRS activated now. Let's see what his first sector time is. And it's going to be a 27.3, so he's only a 10th and a half up in his medium run at the present time. So I'm guessing he's going to find a lot of time maybe in the second sector. However, though, that right-hander wasn't the tidiest, but he keeps it stable, no rear kicking out, but it wasn't a nice entry into it. Although Cops Corner is now approaching. Let's see how he can take it. Holds it in 8th. Doesn't lift. Nice and tidy. It's decent next now, approaching Maggots and Beckett. It's my favourite part of the track. Goes down to 7th, up into Chapel. DRS active now on the hanger straight. It's getting a bit of cheeky slipstream from Rowan. I'm positive slipstream is banned in PSGL unless that's been changed. We've got a cheeky little talk as he's approaching an Alfa Romeo who's gone on the racing line. Now, has that cost Aries a couple of tenths? It's probably going to get investigated by the stewards. As Aries then comes to the line, 26.5 then in the end, goes 7th quickest.
Luca with 11th right after him as well. Luca had a very scruffy lap there, so looking forward to see what he can do on his last run in the end.
As Milker's going in the pits.
Oh, TTG now warp off the track and into the gravel.
Oh, that isn't good, especially in 17th.
After turn 1.
Yeah, actually, how have you lost it? Usually in turn 1 you use it on the right side, not left.
As the Ferrari of Alex Morard, I barely got to see him, but he went over the line to put up a 26.3 and provisional pole.
Yeah, that is the tier admin of F4, so good to see the admin up there. Didn't show the strongest pace at Portugal, but he's showing some pace at Britain, it looks like, so maybe he's a lot more comfortable with the track, as it's a lot more flatter than Portugal. There's a lot of hills and stuff, so 26.3 is the time to beat, and the Ferrari's at the front, which we don't usually see. So,
and if you did not notice, TFI Shane did improve slightly to a 26.4 as his teammate.
Mine, Jesus.
Now look at that, 26.157 to take provisional pole.
That is a brilliant lap from Martin. And it's not actually TFI, it's TFL, the bottle. It's TFL, it's got Shane in
TFL, my bad.
Just trying to make sure I can get everybody on runs. There's Jabraka then, who got the win last weekend. He's come down to the line, and that's a 26.6, improves by a couple hundredths. Stays 10th at the present time. Anybody else on improvement? There's a Haas going quickly. I believe that's LLB.
I can also tell you that Gustav right now on the hanger straight, about 2 tenths up on his time, so it would put him right around that P5 area as he's going in to the final few corners. Nice on braking there, taking a lot of that inside curb, taking some of that outside there as well. Seems to have a good run there, and look at that, straight into third.
Yeah, but straight into third, only by 2,000ths of a second though to Shane.
Oh, well, it is very close between, well, to be fair, between second and
all the way to like 19th.
Quite far down, to be fair.
Yeah, it's very close. And Freak Fast just improved his lap time, moves to 8th with a 26.4.
And Ladders straight up to second as well with a 26.3.
Yeah, they're getting closer to Martin, but Martin right now looks like he has the edge with the 26.1. I wonder if we're going to get a 25.9 from any of these drivers.
Well, we're certainly close to it at this point, with Martin setting a 26.1 already, and obviously none of these drivers have actually been on their last run yet either, so we're certainly getting close there, but I can't imagine they're starting to struggle to get more out of their laps as well as they're setting faster and faster times.
Well, Luca looks like he'll be the first one to start his last run. Currently in sector 1 on an outlap. Obviously on the soft tyres in the Williams, currently as you said 13th with a 26.692. And he didn't really need to improve that much. He could improve by 2 tenths and he could be 4th. So, you know, there's not that much improvement. You just need to nail the lap when you're under a bit of pressure. But hopefully Luca can do it and have a good race. As he's backing off, I'm guessing he's trying to keep his tyres cool. But that Mercedes is catching him quite quickly. I believe that is Noah. He's also on an outlap.
No, indeed, I am following him already. And he is getting close to starting his lap, but not quite yet.
I wonder if Luke is actually going to let him through. No, I think he's going to stay behind. Well then, Luca then will begin his flying lap. If you want to go on board with that ball, Luca, if you want to come take off his lap.
Luca, I for Luca, alright. Let's see here then. As he starts his lap, could have started it a little bit better, but seems to get good traction anyway. And then goes on to this start-finish straight before you can see him taking a lot of that entry curve. Missing the apex a tiny bit in turn 1, but good through turn 2. Then into turn 3, might have been a tiny bit of a lock up there, but still looking good. And into turn 4, before he's using a little that outside curve, not a thing you see a lot of people do. Then heading down to Wellington straight and into this long swooping left-hander. Personally, one of my favorite corners on this track. Then into this right-hander with a little bit of a difficult traction zone, but seems to get it down nicely. And I believe he has backed off Jared.
Yeah, he did back off that. I don't think he was happy with the lap. As Noah,
I don't think so either.
Isn't that far off. He's in Cup's corner now. Nice and tidy on the exit. Looks like a very stable setup. Williams though moves out of the way then, so he doesn't affect the Mercedes. As I said though, the Mercedes should be up there. They were quickest near Portugal, so them and Aston Martin. There's no one's currently 2.5 tenths up on his time. 2.5 tenth lap would actually put him second right now, so he could challenge for pole. Let's see how his sector 3 is. Keeps it in 6th. Nice and tidy exit now. Into the little chicane where traction is crucial here. You need to get a good run. Nice and tidy. Quick flick of the steering wheel there. On the final corner. Let's see what time he will. Will it be a 25? And it's so close, but he does take provisional pole. 26.129 at the moment is the time to beat.
Well, I can tell you that Alex Moirard seems to get a little distracted by the McLaren of, is that Tito, it says. And finishes slightly down in his lap. Unlucky for Alex there.
That was Tito, as both Alfa Romeos on outlaps. Trying to catch if any of the guys finishing their runs on flyers.
LRB should be the next one, I believe, who is about to finish his lap. As he's going into stove at this current moment. Not looking too shabby through there, and then into this final section of corners. Ooh, not looking great there, and over the line at 26.3 still, so a little bit scruffy at the end, but very good lap still.
Yeah, very good lap indeed. Shane then must be the next one. He's apparently up by a tenth, so a possible 26.3. As I believe that's Thomas. I believe he's just crossed the line. He's gone third quickest with a 26.266. So currently the Mercedes are 1 and 3. Is Shane going to go fourth? No, Shane goes third. So the Mercedes are sandwiched. I can't even say that word now. Sandwiching the Aston Martins in second and third at the present time. As I believe that's an Alpine of Jabraka. Who's next?
The next one should actually be Simple H4, as he's going over the line to do 26.7. A small improvement. Well, actually a big improvement, but doesn't get him too many positions.
As Nawalp is next, apparently 3.5 tenths up on his time, so, and that is 11th, so a big improvement there. Could be a good starting position, as his teammate, Teresa, takes 10th from him, so he actually gains on his teammate. As the Red Bulls are next. Aries improved from 9th.
Freaky Feast, 26.4 from him.
26.5 from Rowan, moves to 15th. So, geez, it's really close now. And
Just
I believe
out around the final corner, and to do a 26.1 and barely missing out on pole position there.
Here comes Slimbo. 26.2. Wow, the times are getting really close now. What about Martin though? The last driver to set a lap time, I believe.
Oh, Martin should be a little bit down in his lap unless he's managed to. No improvement from him.
Neither does Lautus. Actually, no, Lautus does improve by a couple of hundredths, but holds 9th position. But look how close this grid is. Literally, the top 17 was in 5 to 4 tenths, and then 19th, a couple of tenths added onto that. So very close grid from 1st to 19th then. And the drivers can't be too upset with it.
And especially from first all the way down to... it's kind of difficult to stop somewhere, but let's say down to 7th, it's barely more than a 10th covering those 7 drivers.
Definitely, as it's very close indeed.
Is not big behind there either.
Well, no, actually saying that, Rowan and Noop are actually matching on times, 26.505, so they matched on their times then.
Good point there. That's not every day you see.
No, but it is. Well, last season I think we had a couple of drivers doing it in F4 last season. However, last season it was more chaotic for the F4 tier.
I can tell you one thing for sure, Jared. We would have not matched on time.
Oh no, I'd be a second off these guys, at least. But we'll go down at the qualifying order then. So Noah takes pole with Gustav in second, Tito in third, Martin fourth, Shane is in fifth, Slimbo in sixth, Toma in seventh, LB 8th, Lautus 9th, and Alex is in 10th. Then we have Aries 11th, Terrace 12th, Jabraka 13th, last week race winner, Freaky Fast 14th, Noop in 15th, Warren 16th, Mika the debut reserve in 17th, Luca 18th, and ECL Simple H4X, I believe it is in 19th with a 26.7, under 0.6 of a second off the lead. So very close indeed. And I thought Portugal was close, but geez, 6,000th between Noah and Gustav.
Indeed. I gotta say something though, Jared. A little surprised we didn't get Aries or ours, however you say that, higher up, considering he did do a 26.9 on the mediums, if you remember, and only improving by 0.6 after going over to softs. I mean, I did expect him to improve by a little more than that, you know.
Oh, I did as well, but I think when he did his first run on those softs, he got affected by that Alfa Romeo. I don't know if he went for a second run, but it is cloudy at the present time. Is there a possibility of rain in Britain? Obviously it is Britain, usually it does rain, but...
Like I said, there's always a possibility here. But it isn't currently raining though, so maybe we could see a transition from dry to wet mid-race.
Yeah, maybe. It's basically like this, like at Portugal, these kind of conditions, except it was the reverse. It was wet, then it was dry. But we're on the formation lap now, as the Mercedes has got away. No glitches at the present time, touching wood, because we've had a formation lap go before and then the race hasn't started. So, well then, do you want to go with any race predictions then, or do you still not feel...
You're gonna put me in this position already again, I see?
Yeah, you got it, you know.
Well, sure, we can do a prediction. Let's see then. I feel like it's difficult to pick any of anyone else but somebody in the top 4. But I think I'm gonna go with Gustav for the win, and FVR Martin for second. I'm gonna put in a little dark horse in TTG Aries to get third. I mean, that medium lap looked really solid, and maybe we didn't get to see his best in quali in the end, so yeah.
Fair enough then, that is your prediction. I'm gonna go a bit different, I believe. I think instead of Gustav winning, I think Noah, I think, is gonna run away with it. I'm gonna go with Tito second, and then I'm gonna go with the other Mercedes of Toma. I think he could get third, as they did show some great race pace, especially when they were 10 seconds down off the leaders when the weather conditions changed at Portugal. So I think they've got stronger race pace than some of these guys, but obviously that is our predictions. Could be totally different in the race. Could have ECL Symbol winning it with Luca in second, so anything obviously can happen.
Well, you know, I'm gonna put faith in my old team Aston Martin here, you know.
Well, AlphaTauri are going to need faith on Gustav, because he's now just got dirty tyres as he was off there on the formation lap.
I think he should be able to get that third off before they're on the grid anyway, but could be a small factor for that matter as well for his getaway on the grid.
Could be. Hopefully it has cleared so we can have a good start. But obviously, Ball, I will have to ask you to quickly check the midfield in case there's a massive pile up in turn 1.
I'll be keeping my eyes on the back of the grid, or the back half.
Well then, the light sequence has begun then. For round number 2 for the F4 tier. 5 lights and they're out, and they were very quick out, and it looks like the AlphaTauri of Gustav's had a decent start. But the McLaren's bogged down with the Aston Martin as they're nice and tidy there through turn 1, no contact or anything like that. And the Astons are in 3rd and 4th. Oh, the Astons almost made contact towards one another. And other than that, it looks like they've kept it unscathed. How about the guys behind?
McLaren Tito has been off. I did not catch exactly what happened there, but he's all the way down in last now.
Oh, that isn't good for him, especially since he's on the softs as well. As we can see, Simple trying to get past Rowan, but Rowan cuts him off, as there's possibly going to be contact early on, as Aries is on the 11th, really wide out of that corner.
A little battling between the Williams teammates there. A little surprising considering Luca is on the softs. If I were his teammate, it would probably be logical to let him go, but nonetheless, he will keep him behind for now.
I'll have to, but LRB right now is holding up the Mercedes of Thomas. It looks like he's having a bit of a connection issue, I believe. However, the Ferrari is under threat by Lotus in 9th. And he's going for it on the inside, and he is through. Easy overtake then. The Ferrari just lets him go.
And a good overtake in the end as well.
Definitely good overtake there as Gustav trying to keep up with Noah, but Noah setting the pace already. 31.6 is the current fast lap. Obviously that will be beaten on the next time round. But everybody's quite close, and I'm very happy to say there hasn't actually been anybody DNFing on the first lap.
It's been it seemed very clean at the back as well at the start. Obviously there was that one McLaren of Tito though who got an issue. Except for that, there hasn't been anything special really. However, we have the Ferrari of Mika trying to challenge our Aros on the inside into Brooklands. Aros, is he going to hold around the outside? He will now. He has the inside line for Luffield. And he manages to keep that position for now. But look at the Ferrari though, very feisty, getting back at him on the inside, going down towards Cops. However, this is where Aris is going to be able to keep his position. But nice clean fight from the Red Bull and Ferrari there.
Yeah, very nice and tidy there. Also the Williams on the start of the lap will also switching positions as well. Right now though, on board with Nawab, he's trying to close up on Jabraka. As Jabraka made a little error, it looked like, but he's in an Alpine sandwich, which isn't going to be too nice for him. But he's on the medium, so he's going quite long on this stint. As Noah, as I said, he's starting to run away with it. Gap now 7/10. If he's just pulls a bit more in the next lap, as he obviously sets new fast lap. Shane instantly beats that though. It's 29.7. Maybe Shane's got the pace to win this race.
That could be, but we got to remember though, there is no broken gaps there. There is nobody who's actually out of the train at the moment, and Terrace and Aros are looking quite good at the moment. They've almost been pushing the drivers in front of them around some of these corners, and with them being on the alternate strat, could be interesting to see where these two end up.
Oh yeah, as Luca then makes it very easy overtake there on Rowan on the soft compounded tyre compared to Rowan's mediums. On the inside where we saw Mika and Aries fighting it out. So the Williams then moves into 16th. Now his next objective is Freaky Fast, who's dropped back a bit from the warp, so you don't want to drop too far back, as soon as you lose that DRS detection zone, you could be in a bit of trouble from the guys behind.
Indeed, it is way more difficult to get into it again than it is to stay in it, so ideally you don't want to break that DRS.
As the fight for the lead is really heating up though, but look at this now, we have 4 cars trying to make an overtake on Noah already. It's Gustav's already under pressure by Martin, it seems like, on the chicane part.
He's very much under pressure here, as Martin seems to clearly have some more pace to go with this, and he might like to get by and try and see if he can have a go at Noah, as Gustav still has not tried any moves.
I don't think he was actually close enough, but he has actually closed this time around. He was 7/10 roughly around about this area last lap. But is it going to be like Portugal all over again, where you can just stay behind some, get really close, and just not make the overtake? As it looks like Shane's getting closer again to his teammate, but it's nothing at the present time.
Oh, these front guys really tightly packed together now. We had the front three separated by 2/10 for a moment, I believe, Jared.
It is, yep, that is true. As we can also see Luca in the background as well, heating up his pace. He's under a 10th then, almost on freaky fast. So, as we said though, the DRS train is just too powerful, and it doesn't really help when you get out of that train trying to overtake somebody, because it just slows your car down, even with DRS. So, I wonder how these guys are going to make this work.
Well, we might have a move for the lead here, as Gustav is coming down the inside into Stove on Noah to take the lead of Britain GP. But
bit of contact though.
Still very closely together here, and we can see that Martin
the Astons
is looking feisty.
Shane's going for the move actually, Sandra.
Same is Shane.
Shoves him off a tiny bit. It could down settling for the McLaren of Slimbo now. Slimbo's getting a good run. Oh, he's really struggling.
The importance of that driver's title, guys, but you got to remember your teammates as well. And look at this Slimbo on the outside. He's going to try to send a run, getting pushed a little off there. And Martin manages to keep his position, but
it was very
what
close
a send, though.
Yeah, what a send. It could have easily ended in tears for both those drivers there, but kept it. There was a bit of contact, obviously, but not any malice or anything like that. But Shane is ahead of his teammate now. Maybe he feels like it's my attempt to go and get Noah and Gustav.
Well, I mean, I can say for sure that if you've overtaken your teammate and a little bit compromised him from attack behind as well, you better make sure that you can actually challenge whoever is in front of there again then.
As we already have people losing DRS train, Rowan, Simple and Tito already out of it by only a couple of tenths.
It's going to be a difficult day for them then. However, Rowan's managed to pull it back in though.
Jones has just got back over Gustav then, and Gustav drops to second, and yet again the Astons are fighting. As it will give me a better camera angle. But quick switcheroo then for the lead.
Indeed, and looking at these two Astons, Jared, I will have to say that I think both of these two looks like they have more pace in them that they're able to get out now. So it could be interesting to see in the pit stops when obviously these two are so packed together. One of them are gonna have to go for an undercut.
Oh yeah, obviously, but they can't double stack because they'll lose way too much time, and also they also have to be careful from a possible safety car or VSC as well, because I'm not saying it can't happen. There's always a chance that a safety car could come out. Especially when everyone's really this close and trying to make overtakes. But at the present time, I think Shane will be going for the undercut first over Martin, and probably going for the undercut over Gustav and Jones to try and take the lead of the race.
Could be indeed. Or an overcut for that matter. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe somebody actually can work the overcut round here. I believe the undercut is a lot better strategy to do, but I think an overcut can work if you've got the pace. The only person I don't know who has actually managed to make that work before is Matthew Alder, as Rowan gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. So he will not be after that.
5 second?
Yeah, that's weird. I've never seen a penalty do that. Oh, hang on, somebody's in. That is Tomer. Has he got front wing damage? Because that's a very...
look for you.
Thank you very much for that, as we go back on board with the action.
He's still now just rolling into the pit. Does it have a front wing ready? It does not look like it. There's no front wing change. As there is also Tito going into the pit, and he, however, has a wing change. So there was damage for the McLaren. And it's a long pit stop, which is going to make it very difficult for him.
Yeah, it's very if that's his actual stop for the Merc, it's a weird strategy because that's a very early stop. Usually you'd be pitting around about lap 9, maybe to lap 12, because the softs don't really die around Britain and they can actually last with some decent pace still to 13.
Careful what you're saying now. The softs can definitely die here, Jared.
If you... Oh, Matthew did tell us, one of the drivers on the PSGL F1, did say they could last that long. But it's obviously up to the drivers how they handle it with the tyres. Like, can handle different from each driver. So maybe he's going for an aggressive strategy and trying to maybe pit 2 laps earlier than the guys ahead and trying to gain some positions. But I have to see how it plans out. But right now the Aston's still trying to keep up with Gustav then, as Noah still holds the lead at the present time.
And I believe Rowan has just been passed by Simple Age.
As 4 people have now pitted. Slimbo, LRB, Alex and Luca, all in the pits.
Indeed, and the most noteworthy one of them then, Slimbo. He was in that 5th position. He looked to have good pace as well. And look at that, behind Martin now. There might be an issue for Ladders that he's losing DRS, Jared.
Yeah, I just noticed that, but he's definitely not got DRS this time out, which is probably going to hurt him, as he is losing a bit of time down the straight, but I know Lautus, he probably can gain that back in the second sector, but he's going to have to be quick, because the second sector isn't that long around here. And hello to you, C_1456, welcome to the stream. You haven't missed that much. There's been hardly any overtakes, really. It's been slipstream train most of the race, but good racing nonetheless. As Martin's still trying to keep up with Shane at the present time.
Trying to keep up and trying to keep up. I think it's only a matter of trying to get closer at this point, Jared. As we can all see these 4, nobody really having an issue keeping up with each other.
Well, I think Gustav actually is got a stronger pace than all 3 of them, to be honest, because he's the only one who's got 70% ERS. The other guys have got like 30 to 40, so he hasn't really used it.
Oh. And that
Noah's
is
in.
Noah and Shane into the pit.
Well, we're going to go on board with Noah and see where he's going to come out.
I can tell you that Slimbo at this current time is going on to the hangar straight.
A quick
Obviously
stop.
No DRS for him now, but he's looking like he's pushing through Stove. Let's see then. They're still in the pit lane, I see.
Yeah, they're about to go up the hill where the green light is, passing the safe car, so I think they're safe.
Ahead, I believe, but here comes Slimbo on the start-finish straight though. And obviously with the momentum, you can see the Aston Martin, but he's just behind still.
He is just behind, but look in the background, the Mercedes of Obi-Tom and Lautus going side by side out from the exit of the pits. And Thomas gets ahead then. Moves into 15th, but Lautus looks like he's got a good run on the exit. He's looking for it. Thomas defending on the inside. That's his defensive move. These two are getting a bit aggressive towards one another. Through the left-hander, and he is through. Late braking, and he's in. And the Mercedes couldn't do the switchback. And watch out for the Ferrari as well.
He'll have to watch out for that Ferrari indeed. Alex, you can see him right on the tail as well, and he is using his DRS to make sure that he doesn't get passed by the Ferrari there.
It's true, as the leaders are in the pits then. So Gustav and Martin in the pits. Will they lose any track position by staying an extra lap out?
We will see in a moment. We can see that Noah is already on the hangar straight, so I think they're not going to be able to get out ahead of him. And Shane has lost. Oh,
very aggressive, but easy overtake there for Slimbo. He got a good run on down the hangar straight, but now he's in a bit of trouble, maybe on the next straight, because he has to now pull away as the guys are still in the pits. So
Gustav is right about there going out of the pit, so he should be comfortably behind Jones. However, he has managed to stay ahead of Slimbo, but
the Astons haven't played it that well. Shane and Martin have both lost out to Slimbo. Martin's dropped to 18th, so that pit stop didn't work well at all.
He must have had a wing change.
Yeah, definitely.
Must have had a wing change. He was right on. Gustav's rear going into the pit.
Well, back to the action up front though. Terrace and Aries, one of the drivers you were saying could possibly do well here. Isn't challenging for the win, obviously, but he's currently trying to take the lead of the race. The medium's obviously probably going to last another 5 laps. Maybe a bit longer, maybe 8 laps, possibly. But right now, Alfa Romeo versus Red Bull.
Indeed, however, for these two though, I don't think Aris is going to put up, it's going to pressure TerraRacer that much, depending how their pace is. If Aris is happy with this pace, he will probably just let TerraRacer do the job and try to just make sure that they keep a steady, good pace instead of losing time while battling.
No, yeah, that is true, but I've just noticed a flaw with Freaky Fast and Simple. Why have they pit? They were on mediums. They only took them 10 laps. They're now on softs. Now a softs from here is a push. A very big push, to be honest, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these get a punch near the end of this race.
That's a weird one, you know.
I've never seen that one, to be honest. But Shane, oh, we missed that as well. Shane actually really took Slimbo. So Shane back into 8th.
Indeed. Or they have both lost the DRS though to Gustav, who has actually managed to work himself inside the DRS of Noah Jones again. As Aris is getting a little bit closer to TerraRacer as well, almost pushing him around Stove corner there.
Yeah, I think these two will, I think, possibly make another overtake next time round. But this train, just for 8th position at the present time, is ridiculous.
Oh, I have just noticed as well, Jared Aris sitting there with almost 80% DRS as well.
Well, I'm going to have to cut you off though. Oh, it looked like Slimbo was going to make a quick dive on Shane there, but in the end he decided to be smart and not go for the attacks. That possibly could have ended in a crash. But as you were saying about Aries there, Sandra.
Well, I wasn't really done with it. I only mentioned that he has as much as 80% ERS left at this current moment. While you can see Noah and Jones, Noah and Gustav, I mean, around 10% ERS. So those two in the leader still has a lot to push with, especially Aries, who's almost at 90% actually.
That's fair enough then, as I've got to say Martin has had a shocking pit stop. He's still 17th, and his next person ahead of him is Freaky Fast, and he's on soft, so I don't see him getting past him anytime soon.
Well, I do agree with that, but however though, having a soft runner in front of him, he could maybe see that soft runner making some moves, and could open up some gaps for Martin though, so could still work out for him to get a few positions, but it's going to be a very difficult race for him from now on.
Definitely, and I think Slimbo is probably going to go for the overtake soon, because he was 4/10, so he's lost a 10th there out of Chapel, but is he going to be close enough? He ain't using his ERS. No, I don't think he is. He's staying behind. I think if he used his ERS, maybe possible dive, late dive on the inside. Right now, it stays behind.
You know, not just Aris, but Jabraka as well, also over 90% DRS. So,
no, I'm wondering.
I don't know when these guys are planning to start to push, but they should start it soon, though.
Oh yeah, definitely, because they're going to be losing a lot of time. So net lead is 23.4. I believe the pit stop already is 26 seconds. In that range, it's either 26 to 28, I believe.
Something around there. Yeah.
So that if they pit now, they're going to be 12th. And more times they stay out, more time they lose. Because the guys are on fresh tyres behind and they're actually kind of catching them up.
Difficult to say. Gustav and Jones is keeping a very good pace there, but however though, with them to break... Ooh, as Aris is going for the move on TerraRacer into Stowe. He's finally gotten past and
he's pit.
Maybe.
So,
okay.
He went for the... I don't understand it. Why go for the overtake and then pit? Why don't you like do another 2 laps?
Okay. That's a strange one. I don't know why he didn't use more ERS earlier then, but nonetheless, though, Terrorist and Jabraka staying out. But what, as I was gonna say, with Gustav and Noah having break in DRS with the rest of the field, it does look like the rest isn't keeping the same pace as those two.
No, it doesn't look like it, as Shane not still trying his best to get away from Slimbo. He's doing an okay job, but he's using way too much ERS than the McLaren, and that could affect him late stage of the race. But right now, though, it looks like they're slightly catching up to Gustav and Noah, then it looked like. That's currently 1.6. I don't know. I wonder if they actually are going to catch up. I wonder when Jabraka, though, and Terrace are going to put, to be honest.
Currently, Aris, with that pit stop, should still be 11th in that position. So he hasn't actually made any moves on that, but however, he does have those soft tires now, though.
Well, not just that, he also has a penalty as well.
Yeah.
And Terrace into the pits then, as Jabraka stays out. So the race winner, maybe trying to hope for a safety car and try and do another masterclass strategy to get a win, as he runs very wide.
Ooh, and that is wide.
That's definitely a warning. Oh, as Gustav takes net lead then, overtakes Noah, and what about Slimbo? He stays behind the Aston at the moment.
Noah sticks right on his rear though.
Oh, Noah almost loses the rear end completely, and he's out of DRS range. Is this the free line basically for Gustav to now pull away and try and win this race?
Well, he's gonna have to try now. He's gonna have to rinse that ERS and try to just make sure that Noah is not getting back in it now, because if he can, then it's just gonna be way more difficult for Noah.
Well, was Martin and Terrace going side by side, but Terrace just has better traction with a soft compound tyre. But is he safe? As Martin is trying to go on the inside, but Terrace is defending it. And there we go, Terrace is in 14th, Martin stays to 15th, so Martin's really not having a good run in the second stint then in the end, as Gustav then is doing what he needs to now, try and pull away from Gustav. Gustav, he's trying to pull away from Noah. Why did I say Gustav?
You're not the only one mixing up names here.
Shane though, 1.5, so they actually have caught up, 1.4.
And I have.
I think it's a bit too late.
Now that maybe Slimbo has backed off Shane a little and let Shane just try and push to get back in.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ, how was that not a crash? Oh my god, he is not happy, shaking the steering wheel, look like then. That could have easily ended in a big crash between Shane and Slimbo. But as you were saying that, you were saying Shane may have backed off. Doesn't look like he's really backed off. He's used basically almost all his ERS.
Well, no. The other way, Jared. That Slimbo has backed a little off Shane. Let him try and pick up the pace for them. Did not lose completely contact. The Red Bull of Aris goes for a move in turn 4, I believe that is, on the Ferrari of Alex Morard, and he's gonna make it stick down Wellington straight. Good move by the alternate strat runner there. As actually I was wrong. He should be net P8 now with this undercut.
Yeah, so hopefully the softs manage to last. I'll tell you that the guys who are not going to make their softs last in is Simple and Freaky Fast, because obviously they're on 4-lap softs now.
Well, unless they can get a rocket engine going in the back of that car, there won't be any points on them anyway. But could be interesting to see if they get a puncture, to see when the tires should be really bad.
That's true, but Slimbo finally goes on the inside this time of Shane, this time no contact.
Toma really pressuring LB here as well now.
So Brackett and Rowan still haven't pit. And the gap to lead from Gustav to Jabraka is 22.9. Jabraka could get points here, to be honest.
Oh, Aries with the DRS on. He's going to go for a dive on the second Mercedes of Toma and down the inside in turn 3. He makes the move stick.
Oh, Teres has gone for a move as well. Oh, hang on, that Mercedes made a mistake. The Ferrari's now passed. And it looks like Toma and Noah are both struggling with the rear end on the Mercedes.
Could be that they expected more traction from these mediums than they're getting, and now they're struggling a little more than anticipated, or it could just simply be mistakes.
Good push that Shane is now in a bit of more trouble now. He's got Lotus and really on his tail. As the gap has increased.
I am saying it now for you, Jared.
Oh, hang on, I've got to cut you off. Toma's off. Toma's lost it through Maggots and Beckett's, and I said he was losing that rear end, and well, he's definitely lost it. And it looks like he's got no front wing.
Unlucky for that Mercedes then, as they were, I believe, top of the constructor as well.
I believe so. But that's going to hurt him, especially now no points are going to be on the card. He's going to be furious on that helmet. But as you were saying, as I cut you off,
I can tell you this, Jared, that I think we are going to be in for another overtake from Aries. Oh my God! Aries goes right off. And that is unlucky for the Red Bull driver there. He was in a good groove, but he must have pushed it a little too hard there.
Yeah, maybe pushing a bit too much, and well, he's lucky that he hasn't actually lost his front wing.
Well, yeah, but he's not getting any points at this point anyway, Jared.
Oh no, there's nowhere though. Has decreased the gap to Gustav now, back to 0.5 of a second. So, with that little error, he's decided to pick up the pace again.
Indeed. Jabraka and Rowan, though, really hanging out there for that safety car right now.
I believe their pit stop, they're going to be the 15th to 13th. It's in that range where they'll be. But right now, though, Gustav's doing a good job holding this lead. And Shane's now saving his ERS, but he's getting really close to Slimbo, almost. I think these two are going to have a crash in a sec, because they're getting really close towards one another.
Again.
As Teres and Alex also squabbling away for 9th. Teres actually might get some points on this soft strategy.
Oh, Terror Racer is on 4 points at this point. So, let's just see if he can be aggressive enough to make a few more positions like Aris was doing. See him almost pushing LB around that corner. LRB.
Oh, Shane's going for it. Shane is going for it. He's going for 5th, and he's through. Slimbo has to yield. And, well, there you go. Shane now back into 5th place, but I don't think that was the smartest place to overtake him, to be honest. He's probably going to get you back on the next straight.
Depending on if Slimbo wants to get back at him on this next straight, though. As it doesn't look like it, and obviously then he has cops to try and create a little bit of a gap before a hanger straight.
Yeah, definitely. As currently on board with it is Jabraka and Ron still haven't pit. And on lap 19, they're going to have to pit soon.
Oh, I can tell you though, if there is not going to be a move between the front through, there is going to be a move from Terrorist on LRB as he goes off the inside and moves into 8th place. Easy move from him there.
He could actually get 4th the way he's going on this pace on these soft tyres. Because all he has to do, yeah, I have a weird feeling he's probably going to get maybe even 3rd. Yeah, you're correct. Like, no, actually, no, hang on, he could actually.
Ooh, and look at that, fastest lap as well from Terror Racer.
He's really flying. You don't want to push too much because he'll end up like Aries into the wall. He's right on the tail of the outside. He's going for a dive.
And look at that, he tries it up the inside on lettuce.
That was very close.
Really get it done though.
Could have spun him around, and that could have stopped him pushing. It's really heating up now between these guys.
He knows what's at stake here. He knows he has the better tire than all these in front of him. He knows that he can be within a podium position at least. He has to be aggressive to do it though.
Yeah, you can't just stay behind the driver because it's not even going to help you. Oh, it's Thomas, that's new fast lap. 27.7 is the fast lap, so nobody's going to get that point at the present time. Oh, but he's really reeling him in.
But look at that Terror Racer. He's lining up another move. He's going to go for the move on lettuce into Stove, and it's going to be another easy move down the hanger straight for Terror Racer. Oh, look at that though, trying to switch back there.
I don't know if it was a switch, but I think Terrace just ran a bit too wide, to be honest. Too much speed in that corner.
Could be. However, though,
Jabraka's in.
2 more positions, and he's in a podium position.
Well, yeah, 2 more, definitely now. But Jabraka's pit.
Yes, pit.
So Rowan's probably going to pit next lap.
It's too late.
Where is he?
Rowan's going to stick it out until the final lap, I think, because at this point,
oh, hang on.
he has no hope except for a
Why is there
car.
yellows? Why was there yellows? Was that Luca?
I don't know. I don't see anyone who's been off.
I think it was Luca. I think Luca just lost a couple of positions because Simple just moved up in position.
I could be actually. Oh, and look at this.
Terror
Racer is right on the back of Slimbo here, going down to Cops. He won't go for it though. He'll simply just sit there and getting ready for that move down the hanger straight.
Yeah, he's considering the pace he's actually doing. He's not even really touching any of his ERS as well. So it's going to be mad when he gets in clean air because the pace is going to be a lot more.
It is quite insane to look at the amount of ERS he has compared to the others. And look at this.
Oh, Slimbo's gaining.
Actually, Slimbo manages to defend this time.
They might run similar wings, but look at the traction difference.
Look at this though. And he's thinking about it, but Slimbo has to go defensive, compromising his lines for the next few corners. Terror Racer really pressuring Slimbo right now.
To be honest, if I was Slimbo, I'd just let him through, because it could actually help him with the battle with Shane for 4th.
True. Now let's see then, can Terror Racer get a good exit onto Wellington Straight?
Lap 22.
Obviously this should be the last difficult overtake for him, you know, as when he goes past Slimbo he will have Shane, but Shane does not have any DRS from the car in front.
I don't think he's going to be able to get him on the straight, so I think as you said, the best opportunity is probably Cop's corner, because Slimbo's probably running similar wings, it looks like.
Could be, but Cops is a very risky place to go for it. I would rather go for the one that Iris kept pulling off, the one into turn. Oh, but look at this though. He has to have him this time. Alongside.
Oh, it could be 3 wide.
Slimbo is trying to defend, and look at this. It's going to be a double overtake on the inside of both Slimbo and Shane.
Cracking overtake, but Shane isn't finished. Shane's still going side by side with the McLaren though. McLaren sees he's trying to get on the inside, trying to not have any contact. Oh, you don't go side by side between this corner. We've seen Albon and Magnussen have blows. Oh no, it's come to blows! Oh, and a big crash! Oh my god! That is the front tyre completely gone. Wow.
They've risked it all and they've lost it all.
I called it though. I absolutely called it. A safety car.
Oh my god.
A safety car,
Rowan
and those two are
might
going to crash. Rowan has been saved. Rowan. I called these two were going to crash, and they crashed. I called the safety car, and it was a safety car. Jesus Christ. Rowan.
I will have to give it to Slim, but he knew he needed to get past because of that penalty. But he did take too much of a risk there in the end. You don't want to go side by side in that corner. It just usually doesn't end up well. But let's see then. Slimbo, obviously, he has 16 seconds to the cars behind. I'm not sure exactly how much he needs to stay in first with them having the delta.
I don't think he's going to be worried about it because he's going to have softs. Like real fresh softs. If the guys behind him are smart, they'll pit as well.
Because he doesn't have many laps, so he can't Like, he can't fall too far back if he still wants a good position, but this could be a masterful strategy from Rowan though, and you gotta feel the pain for Jabraka pitting a lap ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he was 8 seconds ahead of Rowan. He would have been easily winning this race, and unfortunately, it's not really paid out. It's going to be close. Because the Delta's going to end for Mercedes with the flag.
Noah's already going through the final corner though. But there is a bit of a gap between Gustav and Terror Racer as well.
Nice.
Rowan...
He's going to be behind the train. He's not winning this race, not enough time.
He's going to be too far behind as well.
Could get points still. It's going to be a big risk. There's no way though Simple's getting points.
6 seconds of penalties, so
there is no way
I
Simple.
think it's going to be very difficult for him now.
Simple on 12 laps
off. He did that safety car a few laps ago. However though, one driver we have to look out for right now, Jared.
It's
Terror Racer. He's been on it, and right now he's on it in the battle for the win. However, those
Slimbo's manually retired. Slimbo's manually retired in the pit lane.
You know, I do not understand that. He could have tried to go for fastest lap at least, make sure that to take it away from any rivals.
Yeah, but
although I believe right now Toma is the one who has it anyway.
No, but I don't understand it. If he's at fault with the incident, if the stewards feel like he's at fault, his penalty is going to be applied for his next race. So why risk retiring?
Good point. I do not know, but I know one thing for sure, and that is that I care nothing about that right now, as I am really excited to see this safety car restart, as it's gonna go in on this lap already.
Oh yeah, it is 24 out of 26, so no DRS for any overtakes, so it's just straight slipstream.
An eye on the midfield, as we have Jabraka in 9th there.
And Shane is calling Slimbo an idiot, apparently, so he's definitely not happy, and that'll probably definitely get investigated by the stewards. But the safety car is in then. Noah does have control, as he looks like he's gone then, so he's started the race already, and we're back to green flag racing then for a couple of laps, as Jones then starts lap 25 on the penultimate lap of this race. And right now, let's see what Terror Racer can do. He's going to have to try and keep up with them. It's going to have to be straight line speed, no DRS this time. Will he be able to pull it off? As how is the midfield doing, Sandra?
Well, not a lot happening. Rowan has made a move on the Williams of Simple H on his 13 lap old soft tires.
Honestly, I don't get how they've lasted.
Those got to be dead at this point.
Surely they've got blisters on them.
He is making the move around the outside in Luffield on FVR Martin right now. They're still side by side though, going down towards Cops. It's gonna be and look at that. He has to go wide to make sure that there is no contact.
Well, he was ahead, so I can't say he exceeded track limits or anything like that. He was ahead of the guy.
I think at that point it's more about him exceeding as the cause of trying to leave some room there. So I'd say fair enough.
But right now then, we're going to be starting the last lap very shortly, and I think Rowan's already in 10th, so Rowan is in the points.
But it doesn't help him that he has those penalties though. But he is trying to make some moves, as we can see that he is...
Jabraka made an overtake on Mika. On the inside.
To Martin.
You gotta say though, the Astons at the start of this race looked very quick. And they're just basically out of it. Martin's only probably going to score a couple of points.
Well, I mean, Shane, yeah, he's out of it. Martin, obviously, he must have had some wing damage in that pit stop or been held pretty badly, which was unlucky for him. But at least he's managed to get himself inside points, and with Jabraka and Mika both having penalties, he could still be looking at 7th place around there then.
Oh, no, then still holds the lead. As Gustav goes really wide out of Corp's corner, and he's just using all his ERS he can. He's still got plenty as Nawar picks up a 3 second. Every 3-second penalty behind the Red Bulls is crucial. As Luca and Nawar, Freak Fast and Simple, are fighting it out. Oh, and there's now for Romeo off the tracks, Andre. Anna Williams.
That is Navorp
And Luca. I think those two have come blows.
Yep.
Ah, we thought.
Rowan tried, but couldn't get past Martin.
Noah is coming around the final couple of corners now. And he's going to take the win. And I called it. Congratulations to Noah. He takes the win then with Gustav second, Teresa impressive third, Lautus in fourth, LRB in fifth, Alex sixth, Martin in seventh, then Jabraka eighth, Mike in ninth, and I look like Red Bull were going to get the point, but Freak Fast takes 10th then from Aries by 2.5 tenths. Tidor 12th, Rowan 13th, Simple 14th. Nawarp in 15th, and I think Tom has just jumped them both. Oh no, Tom actually finished 16th. I don't know the final two positions, unfortunately, because it went too quickly. But yeah,
well, look at that though.
Yeah,
Terrorizer driver of the day. No complaints on that.
There's no other person to give it. He's drove a superb race.
It looked like it was going to be Aris for a while, as he was ahead of Terrorizer on that strat and making moves as well. But unfortunately, he went off in the gravel in turn 2.
It's true as in the normal F4 general chat, it's basically like World War 3 between Slimbo and Shane. But the top three, the top three then, very superb race for Noah to take the win. Started first and takes the win. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the fastest lap, but he'll be happy with that. Then as Gustav in second, Terrace then third from 12, definitely good solid drive from him, from the Dutchman. Lautus fourth, LB fifth, Alex sixth, Martin seventh, Jabraka in eighth, Mika on his debut as a reserve, I believe, in ninth. Impressive points for him. Freak Fast 10th, Aries then, unfortunate with the crash, possibly could have been 5th at least, or even 3rd. Tidor in 12th, Rowan 13th, Luca 14th, and 15th. Those two may get investigated for their last lap shenanigans. Toma then is 16th, who gets the fastest lap, but doesn't get the point. And Simple 17th, and then Slimbo and Shane, who is definitely getting investigated by the stewards, who both DNF'd from today's race. But what an impressive race though, Sondra. And I bet you wish now you were here for Portugal.
Well, I mean, it's been a good race. It's been a lot of DRS trains, but we've had some good battles, and we had Aris and oh my god, Terrorizer, who shaked it up a little at the end there as well, really starting to make moves on their soft tires, especially Aris, really aggressive into that turn 3 on other drivers, and it works for a while until it went completely sideways. So it was a good race in the end, and obviously you know already that I wanted to be there for Portugal, as Portugal is, well, probably one of the tracks I consider the best for actual racing, but somebody had to work.
Yeah, me and the commentary booth, you know, that's work, you know. But other than that, it was
different kind of work.
No, but it was a shame you did miss that one. It was very awesome race. But I think Britain's actually topped it, to be honest. Especially with the crash between the McLaren and the Aston. Very big impact, and probably hurt their relationship, probably in the chats. But hopefully that can be mended for Monaco, which I believe is the next round. Which yeah, I'm not expecting a full grid.
Monaco's a track for mending relationships. Yeah, you're completely right on that one, Joe.
He just sends it in the hairpin. But yeah, Monaco is the next round. It's going to be very interesting what happens. Hopefully we can have a full grid. Obviously it's not the easiest track to overtake, but it can happen. But please try and keep it clean, Shane.
There is a few chances there.
Yeah, definitely. Well then, I've been your commentator Isle Neon, or as Jared Fosbury. I've been joined in the booth by the old man Sondra Sohaug. It's been a very pleasant day between the comms, and if you want to see some more action, join us next week on Monday, same time obviously, with both commentators for the rest of the season. And we'll see you guys then, and goodbye for now.